Welcome to Everyday Reviews right here in beautiful Sonoma, California. Check this out behind me. We've waited for this for so long. This is the much anticipated Nissan ARIYA. Let's get to it. This is a full-on all-electric vehicle built on a dedicated EV platform. Size-wise, we're looking kind of in between a Rogue and a Nissan Murano. Check out the design. It's what Nissan calls timeless Japanese futurism. It's sleek, it's seamless. Look how thin the light signature is here. You have your LEDs going horizontally, and the DRLs just go and shape that signature V-motion grille. There is no grille, but there is stuff behind here. They kind of emulated this 3D effect here. I love the two-tone paint on this. This is the Platinum Edition in the US. It comes with 20-inch wheels. In Canada, we do not get 20-inch wheels. We get 19-inch wheels, which is not a bad thing because the smaller wheel you go to, you get more range, and we're gonna get to that in a second. All right, everybody wants to know, is there a frunk in here? Well, open up. Unfortunately, there isn't. They have put a lot of the HVAC system in here, but the beauty of that, they figured if they were going to put a frunk in, it would be very small anyway, so they've actually went and moved everything forward, so you get more room in the front cabin area because of that. You do get room in the back though. Let's check it out. In the rear, you have wraparound LED tail lamps. The Nissan is embedded right into that horizontal bar right there. Check this out. One thing that drives me crazy about my own vehicle, the IONIQ5, this one comes with a rear wiper. Big bonus there. Also standard, you get a roof mounted spoiler. You'll notice this one has two shark fin antennas because this is equipped with the ProPilot Assist 2.0, which we do not get in Canada. Our Canadian versions will only have one. We're gonna get to that when we get driving on there. So we do get a power liftgate. You'll see this is the Platinum Plus here. Up it comes. You'll notice there are no tailpipes, of course, but a really good amount of room here, a nice load-in height. Now you can see they do have these partitions, kind of like a divide and hide type of system. However, on this particular model, you do get your subwoofer is in there as well. You also have your tire mobility kit though. So when you close that up though, you do get good room. Here is my 31-liter bag, but just have a look here. One thing this does not have, unfortunately, it doesn't have any type of inverter or 120 volt plug-in like some other EVs have, which is kind of unfortunate because it's really handy if you're, not just for power outages, but for tailgating, barbecues, things like that. If you need more room, you can fold those rear seats down. There is no release from the back here. You'll have to open the back doors and fold those down, but lots of room. All right, let's take a look inside. Now, some of you know one of my pet peeves is when you have a proximity sensing key system that it only applies to the front doors. Nissan is taking care of that. We have proximity key, works for the front or the back doors. On the inside, they really have made this what they call a lounge style. You also get that Japanese Kamiko pattern that is on the outside. You can see it in the grille and also on the door panels here. You see this kind of crisscross pattern, even below the dash. Right up front center, we have dual 12.3-inch digital screens. And what's nice and very unusual is that it's a curved screen, not meaning it's like it's curved this way. You have your first instrument panel screen that's inset further, and then it curves out into a closer one for the infotainment center. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto on here. This one has all the bells and whistles. You have a 360 camera. Speaking of cameras, we also have a digital rear view mirror available on this top trim. So if you have a lot of people blocking your view or a lot of cargo, you just flick that and there you go. Below the infotainment, we have a big, huge power and volume knob. Love how they have this big volume knob. It's easy to grab, that your hazard lights are below there. But now, below that's where your controls are to start the vehicle, and also for your heating controls. It's capacitive touch with haptic feedback. When you press it, does have a little bit of a vibration to it there, and they light up. It's a very clean look. Now, one thing that's really neat with this, so we do have the same type of buttons right here in the middle console. We have that shift by wire shifter here. Wireless charging is right here. Now there's not a lot of room. There is really no glove compartment, but it is nice and open on the bottom, and you have this big flat area on the bottom as well. But check this out. I'm gonna go and open. Up comes this kind of tray table, and I can open that and grab my sunglass case here. It's actually quite deep. It's actually quite deceiving, and I can close that. Now, I could use this for, let's say, if I'm charging and I wanted to put my phone and use it as a stand or my tablet, I could just sit back and watch that. It's a nice extra little work area for sure. And another thing, let's close that. You do have to hold it though, close it. On the side of this console here, check this out. We have a power sliding middle console. So if you want more room, slide that all the way back like we have here. Get access to an area here. You have 2 USBs here, Type A and a Type C at your disposal. You can put your phone down here as well. So yeah, this is quite neat. We are sitting here in these Napa leather seats. These ones are heated and also ventilated, and they are the anti-gravity seats, really comfortable. We have a very comprehensive head-up display, Bose audio system, and one thing that a lot of people will like, and you don't see on a lot of EVs, is you do get a large panel roof here, but a lot of EVs, the panel roof doesn't open. They might have a sunshade like we have on our IONIQ5, but it doesn't open. This one has a sunshade and it opens, so you get the best of all worlds. Also new, you can control things with voice controls by using a Hey Nissan, or you can use Alexa even. So if you have an Alexa's account and have some smart items in your house, for instance, you can start controlling those even ahead of time while you're in your car, and that's also a pretty big bonus. All right, in the back, as you can see, we do have reclining rear seats back here. Of course, this is an EV. Most of them have nice flat floors, no different here. Nice flat floor. In the center console, you do have air vents, and these have heated rear seats here. Also, 2 more USBs. We have seat back pockets. Fold that down, we have our cup holders here. Let's check out the leg room. Lots of leg room. Ample amount of foot room as well. I like the carpet in here too. It does really give you a cafe lounge style vibe back here, and headroom is very good too. Yeah. Let's see if these windows go all the way down. Not quite. 3/4 of the way, doesn't go completely all the way down. Let's drive. Before we even start talking about the drive, I just have to say, man, oh man, I get why so many tens of millions of people live in California. It's absolutely gorgeous. We are right beside the ocean right now. We were in the Napa Valley, Sonoma, over this course of this drive. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you live in California, good on you. I'm very, very jealous. So, what's the drive like on this ARIYA? Well, first of all, there are 2 different models for a drivetrain. You have a front wheel drive and you have the e-4FORCE. We are in the top of the line e-4FORCE, which is all-wheel drive with the extended range battery. Combined, you get 389 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. This will make a run to 100 kilometers an hour in just 5.1 seconds. Now, what is very nice, what Nissan has done, is the way they've tuned it. This feels like quite a large vehicle, but when you give it gas, it's not the super neck snapping, type of acceleration, yet you just have this smooth push and pull at the same time. It's very, very impressive. Now, if you go into the different drive modes, we have a sport mode, of course, and when we go into sport mode, we will just do that just momentarily. Now, you get definitely a sharper curve for your power delivery, and you also get, we'll wait till we get on the straight here, you get an active sound that's pumped into the cabin. You know, some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I could care less either way. But so we're gonna turn that back into normal mode. One huge advantage of this e-4FORCE system though, is not only is it good for all, you know, traction, your all-wheel drive system, but this is something that a lot of other manufacturers are incorporating in their all-wheel drive systems now. It's using electric motors and the regen braking to adjust the attitude of the car. So under like harder braking or harder acceleration, instead of having that front end come up or that front end dive and that rear end come up, it can actually drag, regen, and keep you more level, which is much more comfortable for the passengers in here. Now, if you go into the single motor front wheel drive, you get 238 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. That 0 to 100 is gonna take you 7.6 seconds, so definitely not as quick. Battery-wise, on this extended version, you're gonna get 87 kilowatt hours of a usable battery. It's big, it's actually over 90 kilowatt hours. So usable is just a few less than that. And range-wise, if you get the top trim that we have here, that's gonna bring you to 428 kilometers of range. That's pretty impressive. Now, if you go into just the two-wheel drive extended range, or the plus, you're gonna get up to 490 kilometers. So if you don't need the all-wheel drive or the extra power, you know, then you want range, that's the one you're gonna get. Now, speaking of the e-4FORCE all-wheel drive system, we actually had a chance to really test it out. We took it to Sonoma Racetrack, where they had a couple exercises for us to do. Okay, we are at the Sonoma Raceway, and we are going to do a little handling exercise to check out the e-4FORCE. This is the all-wheel drive system and how much quicker it is than a conventional all-wheel drive system. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, so we're gonna foot to the floor and then hard brakes. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh, this thing's quick. Now we got a wet road here. Floor. Oh, this is like cheating. The road has been flooded, it's wet. It is actually very impressive. Like, you wouldn't want to put yourself in this situation on the regular street. Clear here, and we go. We're gonna floor it through the slalom here. Unbelievable. Flooring on a hairpin. This thing should have so much understeer, and the vehicle dynamic control is just really taken over. It's so much safer for sure. Oh, wow.
Cool. Great job.
All right. So I'm not sure if it was that apparent in the video, but I was really impressed of how fast, first of all, the computers can react, plus being that this is electric, the motors can react so much faster. Even if you actually plowed into the corner, full throttle in that hairpin turn, just when it was going to understeer, it just pulled itself. Everything's working seamlessly, and these are real extreme circumstances, and it's really gonna make this a much safer vehicle when it's on the street. For regen wise, I like how this works. First of all, just in normal mode that we're in right now, I'm coming up to a corner, I'm letting off. There's a slight bit of drag, but not enough to really disrupt your passengers at all. If you want more, you can actually go into the B mode, and I just pull back on that shifter, and when I let off on the throttle, it's going to regen quite a bit more. Now, for maximum, we have this E-step button. We're gonna press that. It says E-step. Now, when I let off, this is the maximum regen you're gonna get. It's almost one pedal driving. However, it will not come to a complete stop. So just be aware of that. You do have auto hold though, so when you do come up to a stoplight or a stop sign for an extended period of time, you can get it just to hold and take your foot off the brake. But yeah, this E-step, right now I'm going down a hill and I'm just regulating my throttle ever so slightly, and you can drive fairly smooth. Another thing new to the ARIYA, this is equipped with Nissan's ProPilot Assist 2.0. This version 2 is impressive. So essentially it is hands-off driving. If you're familiar with some of the semi-autonomous systems like the Blue Cruise or Super Cruise. This is what it's like. So on highways that have been mapped, you can go completely hands-free. And what I like is you get so much information. When it's blue, that means that you're locked in. If it's green, you still can go hands off, but not for extended periods of time. And all that information is readily available right on all of your screens. It is a breeze to drive, especially if you have long, monotonous freeway drives. Here's the bummer though. For the Canadian viewers or buyers out there, this 2.0 system is not available in Canada yet. They say that it's going to be coming. I don't know when, and they won't say when, but if you're in the US, hey, you got it though. Overall, the ride is quiet, visibility is good. I like the nice airiness that you get with the large panel roof here. Lots of room. You feel like you're driving a bigger vehicle. And you know, I have mixed feelings though with this touch panel for the HVAC system. First of all, we've noticed on a few occasions when we went to adjust the volume, either our palms or something hit the on off for the fan and it just turned off of auto mode, and then we just felt, oh, it's getting hot. It's because we touched that. So I really wish that they had real buttons for that. I do like though that they do have real buttons for your mirrors. You know, there are some EVs out there that they've went so menu driven that you can't even adjust your mirrors without going through a menu. So I do like that they have retained hard buttons for that. You got some great buttons on the steering wheel. Instrumentation is very easy to use. Cameras are good. Charge-wise, for level 3, it'll accept up to 130 kilowatts, which will bring you from 10 to 80% in 35 minutes. That's very, very respectable. If you're charging at home, level 2 charging, like you know what I do right now, it's going to run you, it's going to be overnight, probably around the 9-hour area, depending on what you have your charger set at. Price-wise, this is kind of priced right in the middle of the market. Remember, this is not a small compact vehicle. It is kind of like a compact mid-size, and there is a lot of premium features with this vehicle. So you're going to run anything as low as, if you go into a standard range front wheel drive, you're going to be in the 50s. And the nice thing in Canada, that is going to qualify you for the federal EV rebate. If you go up to the very top trim, like we're driving here, these are US spec vehicles, but our Canadian trim is going to be very similar, other than we're not going to get those 20-inch wheels. We'll have the 19-inch ones. You're going to be just under $70,000, so $69,000 for what you see right here. To keep the battery in tip-top shape, ready to perform, this does have thermal cooling and heating and preconditioning as well, not just for the cabin, but if you want to go and DC fast charge, you're going to get to a charger pretty soon, you can manually turn on preconditioning. It's going to heat that battery up, get it to optimal temperature so you can accept the fastest and the most amount of charge when you get there. So my final thoughts, I'm really impressed. In fact, this has actually exceeded my expectations. I wasn't expecting the ARIYA to be as big as it is, as refined. The technology in here is easy to use. It's nice. The materials are nice. A couple things, like I mentioned though, not sure about the touch controls there, and the fact that we can't get that Pro Pilot Assist 2.0 in Canada is kind of a bummer. Hopefully it will come soon. Make sure to tune in, because we will get this back for a longer term review, more than just a single day. But I gotta say, for our single day of driving out here in California, the weather's been great. We had a little bit of rain, but hey, it's all goes to the experience. The car's being great, the roads are great, everything's been fabulous. Hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers.